Hello, everybody. It's Max with Crypto Talk now. Let's talk briefly about Luna Classic and all of the amazing things that have happened in the last 24 hours. So, if anything, if you haven't done it already, please smash that like button. It definitely helps with the YouTube algorithm. And by all means, check out our live show at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. It's a show that we actually have every single day if you're into live shows. But, guys, look at this. Luna Classic. This is really something else. If you happen to have not seen it already, here it is. Like you see, it's up 64% on that 24-hour chart. And what exactly is causing all this, right? Well, for one, there's quite a few things. But before we get right into that, I do want to show you right on the live this particular chart on the 1 hour. You got to keep in mind, at the time of making this, it's about 11:09 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on September 26th, 2022. By the time you might get this particular video, it might be much later in the day. But on that 1 hour chart, straight from KuCoin, look at that. Really, really bullish looking pennant that you see right there. Some really amazing looking green candles. You don't have to be the most technical analysis type of person to recognize some of these things. But basically, you know, the way I look at it is even all the way up until the 4 hour chart, I should say, you can see how this started to kind of form, right? Real nice standout green candle. And then, you know, it was more representative on that 2 hour. And then look at that, even on that 1 hour. And then, you know, it's just like what you see right here. I mean, up past that 60.5% mark, you know, sitting at 0.0003082, roughly in that area. So it's really, really amazing. Now, you may be wondering, like, you know, what exactly happened if you're not caught up with the news. There's a few things that basically happened. So, like you see right here, it says, straight from Decrypt, Terra Luna's pump goes 40% as Binance plots the supply burn. Of course, you know, Luna Classic, right? It's up way more than 40%. I mean, you know, literally, I just showed you this. It's well past 60%. It may be actually higher by the time you're actually looking at it right now. So like we see right here, I mean, back, you know, 64%. I know I'm kind of going a little bit back and forth, but, you know, something I did forget to show you guys, and it's definitely worthy of mention. That market cap went way up. And, you know, we're sitting at 31. I mean, we've been up higher than that, of course. The volume, though, is just massive. You know, why is that so massive? You may be wondering. But, you know, 282% roughly, right? Really, really nice to see these types of things. So there's, of course, this piece from Decrypt, and it mentions, like, you know, some of the things that we basically see, you know, according to, you know, CoinGecko, CMC, and so on, well past this amount that you saw right here. But, you know, like it mentions, still in recent games, we are likely not to see the Terra Bulls who bought in over at 100 in April, rightfully so, right? But a lot of people are taking, of course, advantages of these basic opportunities. You know, that quote where it states, Binance will implement a burn mechanism to burn all trading fees on Luna Classic spot and margin trading pairs by sending them to the Luna Classic burn address is it's amazing. You know, it's like it's not quite, you know, exactly what everybody wanted to begin with, but if anything, you know, this is where we have been wanting to get to, and it's nice to see that, you know, Binance is basically, you know, finally getting the ball rolling, if you will. I truly believe that we would still got to where we need to be, but again, you know, this is how, you know, things keep continuing to trend. You know, supply, demand, what's trending, like as I would refer to on the live show as the crypto trifecta. But anyway, you should know, of course, about what burning a token is for the most part. You know, we talked about many times. I mean, if you don't, you could go, of course, go to Decrypt, like it mentions right there. But, you know, one thing I definitely want to, you know, point out is this right here. And that is, you know, we did see, of course, the downward pressure on Luna Class requiring more tokens to be minted to compensate USD holders, et cetera, right? And on top of that, you know, like we know, you know, Binance planned to implement an opt-in button for Luna Classic traders, like it mentions, who wanted to voluntarily help burn the token supply at the exchange. There's other proposals that have been brought up recently. Of course, Mexi was training like crazy, all for the right reasons. Mexi, of course, stopped the off-chain burning, and then literally within a few days, decided to re-enable it. Could that have something to do with the lack of volume? Probably, right? But when we get more further into this, it basically mentions that users would volunteer to pay an additional 1.2% burn fee on every trade, which would only kick in if enough users had agreed to partake in the process in regards to Binance's position, or stance, I should say. Terra Classic launched similar mechanism on chain last week. Of course, we know that CEO CZ played on Monday. The approach wouldn't have worked in reality. Quote, "Our traders won't vote for it," he tweeted. And of course, that sparked this whole thing of, a lot of people were like, well, this boycott, Luna Classic. I mean, I personally, agree to disagree on that. I wasn't the type of person to want to do that. My thing was, you got to keep in mind, they have a business and so on, whether you feel as though, you agree with some of these things or not. But at the end of the day, we saw these things being implemented and the price reflects upon it. So just a little bit on that, just in case if you didn't know. But what I was going to show you guys is this, about the, how USTC is going to repay, how it's going to be huge, of course, for USDC. And of course, it's definitely going to be huge for Luna Classic. It has to do with the whole concept of the wormhole. Shout out to, of course, Mike Cornwell, aka Crypto Mike, who made this particular video. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in and basically show you this. In fact, I'm actually going to go ahead and just full screen this just so you can see the whole thing. And we're going to play it here, and we'll be right back shortly. Here we go.
This is something I was wanting to explain to everybody about Luna Classic and the USTC repegging event. What's cool about this is you could say, let's say we get back down to 4 zeros, 3 zeros and a 1, or 4 zeros and a 1, whatever we're at. Let's just say it goes there. All right, so we spend $1,000 on Luna Classic. So $1,000, and you end up with 10 million Luna Classic at that price. Okay, so how you repeg it is you send it through the wormhole and it becomes USTC. So what you're doing is you're taking 10 million coins and removing them from circulation, and you're also moving, the 1,000 you threw into Luna Classic over to USTC. So what happens, you just burn 10 million coins and you still hold the same amount of money, but now it's worth it in USTC. So right now you can get USTC at 3 cents. So if you buy Luna Classic and they're going to repeg USTC and you convert it to USTC, when it repegs, you're going to 33X. But another thing you could do here is use this USTC and buy more Luna Classic, spend $1,000 worth and get another 10 million coins and put it over here to USTC again. All you'll have is the transfer fees, but now you've burned 20 million coins and you still hold the same amount, or pretty darn close to it, the same amount of money. What's happening here is when somebody puts $1,000 in Luna Classic and the market cap goes up just barely, okay, well, when they move these coins out, the market cap goes down, but the price doesn't, because they remove the coins. So you can just keep cycling this, and everybody in the community is going to burn so many coins. When this finally repegs, it's going to slow down. But until the point it does repeg, which as soon as all these people start getting up around 70, 80 cents that got in around 3 cents, they're going to be getting out again. And where do you think they're going to be going? right back over to Luna Classic to wormhole this. And it's going to burn through so many coins so quick.
All right, so there you have it. That's straight from Crypto Mike, who I would like to, basically state that he's like a, the Crypto Talk Now network reporter, if you will. He does a really great job of showing some of these things that we have basically shown you in the past. I thought he did a magnificent job of basically explaining just that in regards to Luna Classic. But if anything, let's get a little bit more into some of this I saw right here as well before we close things out. And like we see right here, this is straight from Classy Crypto, but nonetheless, like it mentions, Luna Classic, of course, has supported the burn for Luna Classic. I should have said Luna Classic. Binance has now supported, of course, the burn for Luna Classic, with the news circulating which exchange will be the next for Luna Classic. Well, we've already seen some ones basically popped up recently, which is really, really cool. And I feel as though that we're going to get things to basically kind of, just snowball from there. And if anything, I mean, it's just that, as long as this thing keeps trending, is what I would refer to as, the crypto trifecta, if you will. It's just going to be absolutely awesome for Luna Classic and even USTC for that matter, like what Mike basically mentioned. I feel as though, like what you saw in that particular video, Mike eloquently described in detail how this is all going to happen. And it's just that, through that wormhole, it all makes sense. Think about it, right? So, sitting around 3 cents and so on, I mean, that's, like he mentioned, that's like a 33X. You're going to see other things in the future, like for instance, I got my Luna Classic on the likes of KuCoin. Maybe you got somewhere else, but the whole thing with pairing, right? You go on KuCoin, they have Luna Classic / USDT pairing, Luna Classic / USDC pairing, right? Think about this. Once Luna Classic, or I should say, once USTC repays and they were able to confirm that it's now, stable finally at some point, right? Think about that in itself. That is going to be the standout utility. Yeah, we want to have, of course, all these other projects, in Luna Classic with the ecosystem, and rightfully so, right? Especially when it comes to like metaverse and so on. But if anything, that has always been what stood out before the major crash back in May. That UST was originally the utility. We get that back and able to stabilize it for good, hopefully this next time around. Some of these crazy price predictions, right? Like where people were saying like even over $1. This is how it's basically done, in my opinion. Again, not financial advice. I'm not telling you to go run and get USTC and Luna Classic and all that stuff, right? This is how I personally feel about it. But I, feel as though that you may also feel that way as well. But let me know what you guys think in regards to all this. We'll, of course, talk more about it on the live show. Crypto Talk Now, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. But if anything, guys, thanks for watching today's video on Luna Classic and USTC, the repegging of USTC, and basically how that's all going to happen. You all have a blessed day, and we'll see you on the next one.